Hello everybody, get ready to do lesson 11.2 part 1 grade 6 math today. In 11.2 part 1, addition and subtraction of equations and inequalities in that unit there. Module 11, Common Core standard here, 6.EE.7. Solve real-world mathematical problems by writing and solving equations of the form x plus p equals q, and then px equals q in case in which p and q and x are all non-negative rational numbers. So you got 34 points here in classwork sheet. Have that out in front of you, students. And then you have 4 points to go into your notebook or your notebook guide. Students, put your name, date, period here, and then due date here for onliners and homeschoolers. So we're going to go into our bell work. Teachers and students, evaluate these expressions here. Put your responses out here. Give your students, teachers, about 3 minutes for this. Okay, I'll see you in 3 minutes. Hello everybody. For our answers for today's bell work, evaluate the expressions. 2 times quantity 8 plus 3 plus 4 squared for number 7. That would be 38. 2 times the quantity 8 plus 3 would be 2 times 11 would be 22 plus 16 would be 38. And then down here for number 8 you should have 6. 7 times quantity 14 minus 8. That would be 7 times 6 would be 42 minus 36 would be 6. And then down here for number 9, you should have 56. 8 times the quantity, 2 plus 1 squared, would be 8 times 3 squared. 3 squared would be 9. Be 72 minus 16 would be 56. Into our lesson today, a notebook page here, essential question in your notebook here. How do you solve equations that contain addition or subtraction? And there'll be an explore activity for that by monologues. Will be the way that we'll do that. So a puppy weighed 6 ounces at birth. After 2 weeks, the puppy weighed 14 ounces. How much weight did the puppy gain? So let x represent the number of ounces gained. So weight at birth, we know that, don't we? We weighed 6 ounces at birth, plus the weight gain, which is, we don't know. That's our x. How much weight did the puppy gain? That would be our x. And then that'll equal weight after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, weighed 14 ounces. So here's our verbal model here. We have 6 ounces at birth, plus, and then weight gained, we don't know yet. That's our x. And then that will equal, after 2 weeks, that will equal 14 ounces. So solve this equation. How much weight did the puppy gain? So a model here would be 6 plus x equals 14. That was from our verbal. This is our verbal model here, from the verbalization of that question. To answer this question, you can solve the equation 6 plus x equals 14. So algebra tiles can model some equations. An equation mat represents the two. So we have 6 plus x here. Here's x, then here's 6 ones here, equals 14. So we have 6x, we have 6 ones here. And then how many more ones do we need to equal 14 would be the question. So 6 plus what equals 14? So an equation mat represents the two sides of an equation. To solve the equation, remove the same number of tiles from both sides of the mat until the x tile is by itself. So we have to subtract 6 from this side here. Over here we have 14. We have 14 ones over here, and we subtract 6 from 14, and then that'll give us x. So you see how that works? Okay, so to continue with that, how much did the puppy gain? And then the model 6 plus x equals 14. So B, how many 1 tiles must you remove on the left side so that the x tile is by itself? So how many did we remove from this side here to just have x? So the answer to that, cross out these tiles on the equation mat. So here's our equation mat here, 6 plus x, this is 6 plus x. So we have to subtract, to isolate our x here, we have to subtract these 6 here, and what we do on this side, we have to do on this side. So what's 14 minus 6? Subtract that, subtract that, subtract that. So we get rid of our 6 here, and we're just left with x now. So we have to subtract 6 from this side, and then on this side here we have to subtract 6 too. What are we left over here? We're left with 8, right? So we subtract 14 minus 6 equals what? So we subtract 6 from each side, and we subtract 6 from 14. Whenever you remove the tiles from one side of the mat, you must remove the same number of tiles from the other side of the mat. Cross out the tiles that should be removed on the right side of the mat. So we remove 6 over here to get rid of this 6. Over here we have to subtract 6 over here. What are we left with? We're left with, what's 14 minus 6? How many tiles remain on the right side of the mat? This is a solution of the equation. The puppy gained blank ounces. So again, we subtract 6 from this side here. And once we get rid of this 6, we subtract 6 over here. What are we left with, students? We're left with how many ounces? 8 ounces. So the puppy gained 8 ounces in 2 weeks. That's the idea there of an equation. Reflection here. Communicate mathematical ideas. How do you know when the model shows the final solution? How do you read the solution? So the x tile is alone on one side of the mat. The solution is the number of small tiles on the other side. So when you isolate your x on one side, like we did when we subtracted 6 from the left side, we subtracted 6 from the right side, and we got our answer. X equals what was left on the right side, which was 8. And that is 11.2 part 1, grade 6 math. Animated PowerPoint math video at AOL.com for course suites and questions. Thank you.